Welcome, everyone. My name is Neil Goldman. I'm the Vice President for the board. Our President, Roger Banuelos, could not be with us, so it's my pleasure to welcome you to this Wiseburn Unified School District Board meeting, Thursday, June 25th at 6:01. Welcome, everybody. Wendy, can you take roll call, please?
Ms. Cappy? Present. Ms. Legaspi? Mr. Martinez? Dr. Goldman?
Present.
Mr. Banuelos is absent.
Thank you, Wendy. Mrs. Herbal, would you be so lovely to see you? We don't have that much more time with you potentially. Would you be so kind as to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes. Yes, sir. Stand, right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. There were no actions to report on during closed session, so we will move to the adoption of the agenda. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Do we have a first from Michelle and a second from Rebecca? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 4-0. We'll now move to public comment from items not on the agenda. Wendy, I believe I have 3. Anybody online?
I do not have any with a reason.
All right, so in accordance with the Brown Act and bylaws, please, everybody who's speaking this evening, you have 3 minutes. The maximum we can allow is 20 minutes, but there's only 3 of you, so you get the full 3 minutes. Looks like, and also by those bylaws and the Brown Act, we cannot respond to any comments that are made. Grace Bader, if you'd be so kind to talk about schools. And again, you have 3 minutes. Welcome.
Good evening. I'm here tonight because the Wiseburn community deserves accuracy, transparency, and accountability from its leadership. At the June 9th board meeting, Superintendent Silvers, you stated that the Futures Plus program was not pushed out by the Wiseburn Unified School Board. That statement was presented as fact. Yet the information now available to the Wiseburn community tells a much different story. We all recently received a newsletter showing that the Futures Plus program was in fact pushed out by this board. This is not a matter of interpretation. It is a matter of record. In fact, the physical building that housed the Futures Plus Adult Special Education Transition Program was actually removed to clear space for athletic expansion. That building was demolished to make way for a sports field. As a direct result, the Futures Plus program was forced onto the Da Vinci TK-8 campus, where Da Vinci schools had to assume full operational responsibility simply to ensure that these vulnerable students did not lose their services entirely. These students are not simply accessories to be moved around. They are not obstacles to be cleared for construction. They are young adults with special needs who rely on stable, well-supported transition programs to build meaningful futures. Their needs and the needs of Wiseburn kids, supported by Da Vinci Rise High School, which you refuse to reauthorize, should be central, not peripheral to the district's mission. And when your public statements do not align with documented actions, the Wiseburn community loses trust. And trust, once it is lost, is not easily restored. Wiseburn residents are paying attention. We are reading the newsletters, we are reviewing the board minutes, and we are watching the board meetings. We witnessed at the June 9th board meeting how those like myself making public comments were only given 2 minutes to speak. And we saw how board member Roger Banuelos violated the Brown Act that night and went on a tirade to defend his corporate resume that lasted several minutes. We witnessed an absolute abuse of power that night. And rest assured, Mr. Banuelos, we are doing our homework. And what we are finding is not a pretty picture. In fact, it is quite troubling and very concerning to Wiseburn residents. We'll speak more on that at the next board meeting. That's all.
Thank you, Grace. Ms. Jeannie Ogar, also talking about schools. Welcome.
Good evening, Superintendent Silvers and members of the board. My name is Jeannie Agar. At the last meeting on June 9th, Board President Roger Banuelos claimed he is 100% a founder of Da Vinci Schools, and he told the public to do their homework. Tonight, I would like to reassure this board that I have indeed done my homework and am here once again to present the facts. Mr. Banuelos and trustee Nelson Martinez both serve on this school board and both are top executives at the same company, Element Consulting, a school construction management firm. In fact, Mr. Martinez reports directly to Mr. Banuelos at Element Consulting. Please refer to this visual aid that clearly shows these facts. While Mr. Banuelos provides his company name on the school district website, Mr. Martinez does not. Element Consulting is conveniently left off of his public profile. At the same time, both gentlemen brag on the Element Consulting website that they are original founders of the Da Vinci Schools. According to the public record, their founder claims are false. The Da Vinci Charter Schools were authorized by this board in 2008. Mr. Martinez was already serving on this school board, and Mr. Banuelos was on the Bond Oversight Committee. They were public regulators, not the creators of the schools. Furthermore, their public roles require neutral oversight of the charter schools. It is legally impossible to provide neutral oversight of independent charter schools that they themselves have founded and are showcasing on their corporate resumes. Their oversight would be biased to deny programs that do not fit their private marketing goals. This would be a conflict of interest in direct violation of Wiseburn School Board Bylaw 9270. In fact, their continued oversight of the Da Vinci Schools while sitting on this board would now have become one massive, ongoing conflict of interest that spans almost 2 decades. Every single vote that they have ever made regarding the Da Vinci Schools would be legally vulnerable to being challenged and overturned in a court of law. It seems that an independent research project by a parent is required to remind this board of its own school history and board bylaws. I have also officially filed a formal Brown Act violation notice and an ethics complaint with the district. If these compliance failures are not addressed, I will continue to return to these meetings to provide this board with additional educational instruction. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Agar. It looks like I mispronounced your name. My apologies. Our third speaker this evening and final public speaker is Rafael Ochoa, funding for year-round theater program at the middle school. Welcome.
Good evening, members of the board, Dr. Silvers, and members of our dear Wiseburn community. My name is Rafael Ochoa, and I am the incredibly proud father of Nathaniel Ochoa, who will be entering 8th grade at Wiseburn Middle School this fall, and Lily Ochoa, who will be joining him as a 6th grader. As I prepared my remarks for tonight, I read Wiseburn's vision statement, as I'm sure you're all very familiar with it, and it reads, "We aspire to cultivate a community where each member realizes their fullest potential and makes a meaningful and positive impact on the world." Those are not just words on a website. That is a promise. A promise to every child who walks through our schools. I'm here tonight because my family has experienced that promise firsthand. Through Wiseburn Middle School's year-round theater education program, my son has grown in ways that extend far beyond the stage. He has become a more confident, more creative, and has become more willing to share his ideas. He's learning to collaborate, to write, to think critically, and to lead. He's even begun imagining original productions for his classmates because he now believes his ideas have value and deserve to be heard. That is education at the core, and that is education at its best. Theater doesn't simply teach students how to perform. It teaches them how to communicate, how to empathize, how to solve problems, and how to work together. It teaches students to step into someone else's story while discovering the courage to tell their own. Before a young person can make a meaningful and positive impact on the world, as Wiseburn's vision statement calls for, they must first believe they have something meaningful to contribute. And a strong theater education program reinforces that belief. I also want to acknowledge the tremendous value of Wiseburn's annual musical. It is a cherished tradition that brings our community together and showcases remarkable talent. My request is not that you choose one program over another, but rather it is that we recognize the year-round theater education program as equally essential to fulfilling the district's vision. The classroom is where confidence is built before the curtain ever rises. It is where creativity is nurtured. It is where students who may never seek the spotlight still discover their own voice. A vision statement is only as meaningful as the choices we make to fulfill it. If we truly believe that each member of this community deserves the opportunity to realize their fullest potential, then we must ensure that the programs making that possible receive the resources, time, and support they need to thrive. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. We now move to special presentations, item 6 on our agenda. And special presentation 1, 6.1, Annual Local Indicators Report. Ms. Mayberry.
Good evening, Board of Education trustees, Dr. Silver, Dr. Dugal. I am here to present the local indicators for the annual LCAP. So this is a little bit different of a presentation that we've talked about with from our previous LCAP conversations. So our indicators, unlike the LCAP, come from self-assessment. So these are surveys that we provide and self-assess how we performed on that rely or that go with the 8 priorities of the state. So we do this through a variety of surveys that we do with our staff as well as our community. Just as a reminder on our assurances align so closely with each of our LCAP goals. So we always need to revisit our goals within our LCAP presentations. So I'll just leave this up for here for a second as I've read these with you many times prior to this engagement. Now, within our goals and our assurances, we have actions that go to support each of these goals to achieve them. And so part of our local indicators actually provide that data to help assure that we are reaching our goals. So unlike our LCAP that relies on the state's indicators that they give us for the dashboard data, we actually create our own. And so what we'll be looking at tonight are instructional materials, facilities, and teachers, standards, implementation, and professional development in all of our content areas, engagement through educational partnerships, communication, volunteering, at-home support, and input opportunities, our local climate surveys, and then access to a diverse set of coursework. And so each district provides either a met or has not met, or if we have not met for 2 or more years. In the past years that we've been doing the LCAP, we've met our local indicators each and every time. So just a reminder of where we're at in 2025-26. We have 2,538 students, and our significant student groups are who we're really looking at within our LCAP. And you can see we're leveling out with our subgroups. And then here were the indicators that the state has provided us. So how did we do in chronic absenteeism? Looking at the California dashboard, our green and blues are good, and our areas of improvement are our yellows, reds, and oranges. And then down below that is the local indicators. So for our basic conditions, these are really good. We're at 0 for each of them. So 0% of our teachers are on misassignments. 0% of students or actually it's 100% of our students have access to the instructional materials that they need, but 0% have filed a complaint. And then 0 of our schools are not in good repair. So this is done through our SARC process as well. Our implementation of our state academic standards, this is actually done through a survey with our teaching staff. So each year we provide a survey to our staff to ask them to fill out. And this is the information from the 87 staff members that responded to the indicator survey. And so it is a self-assessment rating scale of 1 to 5. And these are guidelines that are provided to us by the state. And so we go through how is our professional development and our curriculum and how are we doing in our state standards in those areas. So as you can see, in ELA, ELD, we're at a 3. And so we look at that data to drive what can we do differently. So something that we've recently done is we're adding an MTSS TOSA for ELA instruction to help hopefully get a higher score on our self-assessment. Mathematics is at a 4, so it's grown quite significantly over the past years. Next generation science standards is a 3. History and social science is a 2. And then CTE is a 1, as we don't have very many CTE programs being an elementary type district. So these are more highly aligned to the high school areas. And so this is no surprise to us or our community. PE of 4, VAPA of 4. So our drama programs, our musicals, all of our experiences outside in the arts, we're adding journalism, fall into that category. And then world languages a 3. And so other assessments that we've provided is like through our professional development, 81% of our staff agree that district and school leaders support staff professional development. And 87% of staff report that professional learning opportunities have had a positive impact on their teaching in their classrooms. And these are surveys that we provide our teachers, after the various professional developments that we have. Our family engagement. So we've actually got some pretty big raw numbers here. 317 constant contact and final site messages are sent to our community. So we've gave ourselves a MET based on that information. 608 social media messages this year. We're working on a new communications plan. From our surveys that we've provided to our staff and to our community, our school and district communications satisfaction's at 84%. Opportunities for input is at an 84%. So this was our Wiseburn community survey that we provided, and 87% participation opportunities, 87% percentage. So just different ways and different groups that we're asking through this is our DLOC and our ELOC communities, our educational partners meetings, our teachers that we're asking, our WEF, PTA, we're going out and getting the information out there, even looking at our social media messages, the positive impact that we've had on these. Climate surveys, California Healthy Kids Survey, as well as the Capturing Kids' Hearts surveys that we receive from our students as well are very important to get this overall MET score. Now I'm going to hand over our next one to Dr. Ingram for attendance and behavior. Sure.
All right, good evening. So I will be reviewing a few indicators this evening as well. This attendance and behavior slide should look familiar. We talked about it at our last meeting, but chronic absenteeism and suspension rates are some of the state indicators that we need to present. So here we are again, looking at our chronic absenteeism, which has improved over the last several years from 16% to 8.7%. And also our suspension rate, which has dropped to 0.7% from 1.3% over the last few years. And of course, we want to make sure our students are coming to school, and suspension rates are an indicator of behavior, but there's so many other things that go into that, right? And things that motivate students to attend school, right? And our culture and climate. And so the next 3 indicators I'll talk about are caring adults, school connectedness, and anti-bullying. 2 of those also may sound familiar. We talked a little bit about them at the last meeting, but those were one item. There was one item that we looked at last meeting for caring adults, right, and for school connectedness. And now we'll be looking at scale, so several measures that go into the components that we're looking at today to give us a bit more information about why we're seeing the numbers that we're seeing.
Dr. Ingham, just before you, we do have to notice this trend line in both cases is just terrific. Are we satisfied that we're not at 0%? Of course, we love that. But look at the credit to the team and the success we're having in moving the bar. Good for you, and thank you very much.
Most of them have dropped in half.
Yeah.
Since 22, 23. Roughly.
Thank you.
Okay, so caring adults, this measure is really paying attention to whether or not students feel like adults at school are paying attention to them, that they have relationships with the students. And we can see that for elementary students, so 3rd through 5th graders, 76% of them perceive that they do have caring adults at school. And this is up from 71% in 2024. And 67% of our middle school students, so all 6th through 8th graders, are reporting that they experience caring adults at school as well, up from 58%. If we look down at what drives the measure, so these are the items that go into those scales. So caring adults, adults listen, and for elementary students, adults make an effort to get to know them. Similarly with middle school, caring a caring adult, right? One adult, at least one adult, listens and cares, and then also an adult who notices when they're absent. So overall, students are reporting that they do have positive adult relationships, but obviously opportunities for improvement in terms of making sure students feel like adults want to get to know them and acknowledging when students are absent.
And again, a positive trend.
Okay, next we're looking at school connectedness, so feelings of belonging and safety. For our 3rd through 5th grade students, 80% of them are reporting positive school connectedness, up from 74% in 2024. 63% of our middle school students are reporting school connectedness, up from 61%. For these two measures, the scale items are exactly the same for elementary students and middle school students. So feeling safe at school, feeling like they're a part of school, feeling close to other people at school, feeling happy, and feeling like teachers treat them fairly. Some positive results, but obviously more positive for our elementary students, stronger feelings of connectedness with them compared to our middle school students. So again, some opportunities, especially at our middle school, to focus on those areas that we see here. And lastly, anti-bullying. 74% of our elementary school students are reporting positive aspects of anti-bullying at school. So adults making sure that students know that bullying is not allowed, feeling like teachers will help them if bullying is reported, and then also students trying to stop bullying when they see it happening at school. So students, encouraging students to report bullying when they see it is clearly an opportunity for growth here with our elementary school students. For our middle school students, California Healthy Kids Survey does not have a scale on anti-bullying, but they do have individualized items about feeling harassed or bullied due to various aspects or components of identity. So gender, religion, and race, ethnicity, and national origin, which we see those results here. So for the most part, a lot of students are not reporting that they're experiencing bullying or harassment when it comes to gender or religion. A lot of our students are not reporting those experiences related to race and ethnicity, but some of them are. And again, to Dr. Goldman's point, we want those numbers to be 100%, right? We want everyone to feel safe and have positive experiences. So again, another area for growth there.
I don't know if you can do this now or maybe as part of your presentation. I want to thank you and Ms. Mayberry, by the way, for answering some of my questions offline about what's behind the data of those who aren't rating that. And I know that you're going to be taking some actions or planning for things next year to address this. I don't know if you're going to be talking about that, but I think the world would love to know some of the things that are in the works.
Sure. So a lot of steps were taken this year to help kind of move us in a more positive direction where students are having positive experiences, especially at the middle school. It included staff trainings for all of our staff on site, off-site training for some of our teacher leaders, and also experiences for students, educational experiences. Including assemblies that were supported through Zedek America. Students really seem to enjoy those assemblies. And so at the middle school, we'll be partnering with Zedek America next year to really focus on a comprehensive series of supports, which hopefully will involve assemblies throughout the year for students that are both educational and also provides opportunities for students to reflect and connect with each other, in addition to professional development for teachers and opportunities for parents and guardians to connect as well, be educated and learn how to talk about different topics, with their students.
Thank you. Excited about that program.
And Was it? Pass it back to you.
Back to me, the last local indicator. So as you can see, we've met all of our local indicators. In our last one, we have met as well. So our access to a broad course of study. Our elementary students have specialist teachers in reading and math interventions, computer science, music, and physical education, which is such a benefit to our students here in Wiseburn. And our secondary school students over at the middle school have access to a variety of electives, and those are actually ever building throughout next school year as well. That include the visual and performing arts, our career tech education program. We are trying to build this up, going back to some of our work with Project Lead the Way, STEAM leadership opportunities within the middle school, as well as the world languages that we offer for each of our students. So like this school year, we plan to meet all of our local indicators on the dashboard for 25-26. So that is our presentation, and then we will be asking for board approval very soon for the LCAP. So get excited about that. Just to follow up as well, as at the end of every LCAP presentation, we do provide an opportunity for community feedback, and we did not receive any questions from the community. So I wanted to be transparent in that. Thank you.
Anything from the board?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both for your presentation. Thank you. Next is reports and information, 7.1. Am I skipping?
Yeah, measure E.
I think that was subconscious. Sorry about that, Noemi. 6.2. Let's see. Wiseburn Unified School District Measure EE Bond Program.
And just for that, a 3-hour.
Noemi, my apologies.
No worries. Good evening, board members, members of the audience, Dr. Silvers and cabinet. It's a pleasure to be back to provide an update on all of our active construction projects. I'll wait for the presentation to come up. So as soon as school was out, we immediately mobilized. We're rocking and rolling. We have basically contractors at almost all of our sites currently. The first project that I'll start with is the Del Air soccer field replacement project, as well as the netting project, which has already been completed. We started with the netting last week, and this picture here shows the field prior to the netting and the post going in. The project essentially, like I said, started June 15th, and we're on track to be done completely with the project by September 19th. Here's just the panoramic picture. As you can see, it doesn't show the netting. The picture to the left shows the post already there, foundations already prepared, concrete going in. The right picture to the right, the netting posts have been erected, and the actual netting is going in, as you can see from the lift there.
And just for clarity, we are widening the netting. So
Correct.
Okay, well, there you go.
Correct.
But it's also replacing and widening.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, it's very similar to what we installed at the Del Air baseball field. It's just basically duplicate, and it looks really good. This is the completed. Obviously, the picture's narrow. You can't really see the full magnitude of the completed netting project.
And if you recall, there were some issues with 120th Street and the ball sliding into 123. So we actually had to do some adjustments to the previous netting. So I don't want to say it didn't look bad, but it just didn't look super great. It had like an obvious addition to it. It just didn't seem sturdy. So just redoing it this way was
The next portion of this project, which started, as a matter of fact, this Monday, was the removal of the synthetic turf in the soccer field. Now, you would think it would move a little faster. It does take about a week to remove, just because it's a long process. They have to stripe the entire field first, and they're very intentional as to how they remove. They cut it in sections, 30 by 7-foot sections, because they have to be very careful to roll them, and the way they stack them on the truck and transport them out. So you can see in the back, towards the back of the picture right there, how they're stacking the rolls. So it does take a while. Here you can see some of them were gone. The way they're cutting is vertically, horizontally. So they're very intentional, but it is moving. These pictures were from 2 days ago. So we're almost there.
And you said that will be finished before school starts.
September 19th.
So,
Correct. So, well, September 19th is final completion. So
Okay.
by August, I believe 19th is
Yeah,
when
that's
we,
it.
or 21st, is substantial completion. So that's when we could start using the field. So
Okay.
then we do close out, so that takes us 30 days later.
But we'll be substantial, we'll be able to use it.
As of mid-August, correct. Mhm. Moving on to Del Air Elementary School, playground replacement project. This project also started on June 15th. They started mobilizing, but the actual removal of the turf didn't start until this week as well. We're also on track to be done by August. In fact, this project, August 7th, with final completion September 8th. And here's a before picture. As you can see, it's a substantial play area with an itty bitty little play section. And again, the pictures don't do it justice. It's such a great space and a tiny little playground. And you really can't tell here, but the condition of the turf and the surface was just not great. There's a lot of just divots. It's not leveled, and it definitely needed a replacement. Here, again, from a couple of days ago, removal of the rolls. Right below the actual structure, there's a big pad, the safety pad, that was being removed yesterday. And I believe today they started removing the actual structure, if I'm not correct. Here's just as a reminder of what the new play structure will look like. The light ivory color is the metal, the color of the post. The shade structure itself will be a green color, and the three colors to the bottom left is the blend for the rubber base. These were all colors selected and vetted by not only the former principal, but the TK staff as well. And here's a close-up of what a playground will look like, along with around the actual play structure. They'll have a TK path. Tricycle, I'm sorry, tricycle
For TK.
path for TK, correct. Trike.
I'm gonna take you on, Dr. Silvers.
A
We're gonna go
trike.
for a race.
That's what I mean, trike route for TK. Moving on to Del Air Flooring and Ceiling Tile Refresh Project. We actually did not start on the 15th, we started on the 16th. Movers mobilized, they started bringing in the containers. There was an event happening or something happening on site on that first Monday. But they quickly mobilized, started moving everyone out. The move out was completed by the 17th, and Kaya, our contractor for this project, was following the movers, moving very quickly. So you can see the picture to the right reflects the site plan. We're essentially touching every space, every classroom, hallway, library, NPR, and office, as well as the lobby. There's only a few areas such as electrical rooms, storage rooms that we're just not touching. They're just storage. Or for example, the restrooms that are ceramic tile.
Great.
Here's some before pictures of what the carpet, as you can see, it's a solid color with a blend of different colors in the entrance where they have a long strip of the vinyl tiles. And this project also includes the ceiling tile refresh. Here's some close-ups of the condition of the floor. For example, this is a multi-purpose room. I took a picture of that specific area here. It's along this side of the wall. There's a planter along the other side of that wall. Apparently there must have been an ongoing leak. If there's irrigation there. We have since removed the plants. Here, I can show you. We have since removed the plants, working with M&O. They have identified the leak. They're going to be capping the irrigation, and the plan is to not put live plants back. So they'll use synthetic turf in that area, just so that once we address the flooring issue, obviously there's moisture, so we'll do moisture barrier, moisture testing, and make sure that all of that is addressed before we start installing the new vinyl planking system.
I mean, just a quick question.
Yes.
Like when we walked that site in that same area, there was a comment that there might be a roof leak. You remember from
From Ray.
Ray?
Yeah, I believe Archie, I'll have to get back to him. I believe Archie has sent someone up to look at it, but I'll have to.
I believe they ruled that out.
Yeah, I thought so.
They determined that it was definitely coming from the planter.
Okay.
Initially, they weren't sure. but they rolled that out.
Okay, great. I'll, if I heard something different, I'll let you.
Pretty new roof.
Yeah, well, that's.
Yeah. Pretty
Correct.
new roof.
And it's watertight. Everything was tested.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
my team was out there
Remind
making
me.
sure when they
Yeah, I
tested
just
everything.
remember
So
the
it was
sidewalk,
rolled
so
out.
I'm glad.
And the way they rolled it out is they ran water on the roof and then they turned on the irrigation and let it run, and then water started coming out. Once the irrigation was turned on, when they were running water on the roof, nothing came out. So that's how it was determined. This is a classroom. As you can see, construction is underway. The first thing that they do, basically the sequencing is critical. As soon as movers come in into one wing and they move out, Kaya's moving in, and they're working on ceiling tiles first. They remove all the old ones, replace all the new ones, and then the carpet crew moves in. So the ceiling tiles are done in this particular picture. Here's some before pictures as well of the conditions of the corridors, as well as you can see in the picture to the left, the ceiling tiles have already been replaced along the corridors.
And kudos to the maintenance team for keeping this looking this good for long past this
Considering
run.
that how long,
I mean,
yes.
it's really
Absolutely.
recognition due
Well, and part of the
and given.
problem is not so much maintenance, it's the fact that they were solid colors. This is a problem when you have solid colors like that every little stain shows. That's why the blend of colors is usually preferred. Here's another picture of the before, just as a reminder, because this will definitely look a lot different once we go in there with the luxury vinyl planking system, and it'll have the large logo. But you can see the burgundy area of the carpet, the big stain. You see, again, that's the problem with solid colors, very easily noticeable.
And forgive me, I don't remember what we're using on the floor in the NPR.
So the same thing, the luxury
Like
vinyl
LVT?
plank.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Correct,
Great.
with the big
And
logo.
With the big logo
Del
in the
Air
center.
logo,
Great.
and we'll have that in the entrance.
Little eagle, it's gonna look great.
Correct. As you can see here, ceiling's already replaced, and you see how it's already making the classroom look refreshed. The flooring's not even installed yet, and it already looks much better just by simply replacing the ceiling tiles that were old, stained yellow, already yellowish, brownish. And it just darkens the room.
Great.
Here, they've started floating the floor, the areas that required it. It's part of the prep that they do before they start laying the new ceiling, carpet tiles. You can see the carpet tiles, the walk-off mat, the vinyl plank in the wet area has already been installed, as well as the ceiling here. So this is essentially a complete classroom. We are moving fairly quickly. We have a great team. We're very happy with this particular team that we have. As a classroom is complete, they're doing their own punch before we even go in and punch. So they're already, we start walking and we can already see blue tape where they're noticing their own areas to correct, which is great.
Great.
It's gonna move things a lot faster. Here's a close-up of another completed classroom. And in fact, we will have rooms 17 through 28 ready to move back by next week already. And then we'll keep moving in that sequence.
Jeez.
And the cleaning crew moves in behind us. So as soon as the room is done, then they go in and they start cleaning. So another project at Del Air that we're looking to achieve this summer is the painting of the lunch shelter. There's two side-to-side lunch shelters here, as you can see. This picture doesn't show it so much, but you can see on the post the plaster's coming off. There's rust. I'll show you in the next picture.
Yep.
It's a close-up. There's a lot of rust. I mean, we're very close to the ocean. It's inevitable.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. We've walked it and we
Right.
added this to the list because it needed to be done.
Correct. So we definitely will be addressing this. We received great numbers to do both shade structures. It's quite a work that will entail because they have to obviously remove all of the rust first, prime it well, and then we'll go back in with marine grade paint.
Okay.
As well as primer.
3-year warranty on that paint.
Not 30 years. It will
Everything's
require maintenance,
30.
but it should last longer. Moving on to Weisburn Middle School, the exterior painting project. We are well underway with that project as well. You can see our color palette that is being used for this site to complement the sports complex colors as well. some before pictures as a reminder. As part of this project, we removed the building's names. We're leaving all of the actual numbers, the building numbers, the identifiers. They're just being painted as well.
Great.
You can see some of the before, you can, the 300, so those numbers will all be maintained and just painted. So this is from, I took this picture a couple of days ago as well. We had to complete building 900 in its entirety so that we can approve it before they would continue on to the next buildings. You can see it just makes a world of difference. All of the, basically the entire building is complete here. They were removing the tape while I was there.
I know we're joking about, we're joking about 30 years, but I did look at this up close today. The paint, it looks like the cinder block is the color of gray. It looks like that was the original color. It's really
Correct.
impressive. What are our expectations of this paint on this?
So one of the concerns, and I believe President Reynolds brought it up at one of our last updates. He was concerned that the paint might not hold up well in the masonry
Yeah, we
block,
don't know, yeah.
which is a valid concern. We went back to just for some guidance to confirm our steps, our plan steps for how we were going to approach this project, not only to a couple of architectural firms to get their specifications and recommendation for how we should address it and make sure it would be something that would last. But we also we obtained multiple quotes. It wasn't just one painting company. And we asked for a breakdown of the process. And they all came back with the same process. They use a marine grade primer. In fact, it's called Luxon Concrete and Masonry Primer. They have to do a coat of that first. Obviously, they clean, power wash everything. They do that primer coat first, and then they do 2 coats of the top coat color. And it's all marine grade, which that's what helps.
So marine grade is what would make it, or the sea air that's around us.
Correct.
Yeah.
Marine grade is what they use, for example, in boats.
Right.
Something that is always in the water and prone to rust and damage. Right.
Shipbuilders, so.
I mean, it really looks, it's really impressive.
It
Up
does,
close.
especially when you're standing and looking at one that's complete and one that's not.
Sure.
It's a world of difference. Here you can see the process underway. Once we gave them the green light, they started painting all of they're doing all of the actual gray color first, and then move on to the white, and again, sequencing. We're also painting the lunch shelters. Those are, I mean, they look really nice. They look brand new, in fact. And the fact is, they're metal sheet structures. So just with a good coat of marine grade paint, that should give us a good 10 to 12 years. Okay, so very short, obviously, there's a lot happening. Some of these pictures, some of the other projects that we have, for example, the door access control projects at both Del Air and Holly Glen. Right now they're doing wiring. There's really nothing sexy to show in pictures. It's just wiring. So the ADA upgrades as well, that's just some minor upgrades in order to be able to successfully close those projects with DSA certification. Those are actually not starting until next week on the 29th. Our team was assisting Da Vinci and
No, I mean,
yes.
so you were speaking specifically about the access control at the 2 current sites, right, that already have it?
No, I
Right.
was speaking about the Del Air Elementary School and Holly Glen.
That's
two
the
that-
new
the
project.
new
Okay.
projects.
Could I want to talk about we had mentioned there were some gate issues. We had the last 2 schools. So our current, the current access control schools, it took a year, but we did do a final walk today. Cherie led the walk. And looked really nice, alarms on the outside of the doors that exit to the exterior. We tested all of the gate, the mechanism for the gate to access control. Much better workmanship
We had a
on the
second
actual.
company come in.
Correct.
Yeah,
The first
right.
company didn't do a very good job. And
Oh,
in
it was
fact,
terrible. It wasn't, it was just a terrible
and
job.
This one did a very good job, and the same contractor is going to be doing.
Great.
Yeah.
the gates.
Yeah. So it's really good. It's
You know, this
come along.
rusting Cruise
Yeah.
on an exterior, and it's been there less than a year. Come on.
Correct.
Thanks.
So definitely lessons learned by all involved in those projects. So I think we're off to a much better start on these last two schools.
And thank you for cleaning that up.
Exactly. Going back again to Da Vinci Cafe, as you know, we were assisting Da Vinci with their cafe project. I'm happy to report that is completed and operational. They are going to be filing a notice of completion, but they'll be doing that within their board.
Serving coffee yet?
I believe so.
Close.
The other project that we're actually working, it's an upcoming project, actually planned for 2027. Hopefully, I mean, we're gonna do a feasibility study first, is the Del Aire Elementary School TK Building Expansion Project. Dr. Silvers spoke about it briefly at the last board meeting. We're almost done with the RFP. It's scheduled to go out on Monday of next week. And we hope to have responses back in about 3 weeks, and we'll bring a recommendation to the board shortly after. We have a Citizens Bond Oversight Committee tour scheduled for August 3rd at 5:30. They're always excited to join us in those tours. The majority of them come. So it's a great time to get them there. As you know, they're our conduit to the community. So it's just great for them to participate, see the before, see the during, and then obviously see the after of our projects. So, and you're obviously welcome to join us. Any questions? Matt?
It's great to see all the work that's taking place.
Very exciting. Thank you, Amy.
Oh, now I'm turning it on. It was off.
All right, there we go. Now we get to section 7. There we go. Reports and information. Board member reports. Mr. Martinez, why don't we start with you, sir?
Thank you, Neil. I just wanted to congratulate all the students, families, teachers, administrators, and staff for just an outstanding year. I had the privilege, opportunity to attend the aviation Weismer Middle School promotions, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. Last week, right? Or 2 weeks ago. Time flies. And the Da Vinci graduations, the Da Vinci design and science. Didn't have a chance to attend them all, but just a wonderful 2 days of celebrating the events with the kids, seeing their excitement, seeing their nervousness as well, right, Blake? But it was just a wonderful moment, what an achievement for all the hard work that they put through for those years. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Nelson.
I don't really have much to say, but now, Nelson, we can say the teachers are winding down. I knew that was coming. And so, yes, as the year closed out, I just want to there's a certain excitement that we all feel going into the summer. And so I just want to echo that. And I mean, somewhere special with where we live, and the weather's great. You kind of walk out, and so just feeling very, very grateful for all of that. Really happy to see all the work that's being done, being right across from Del Aire. It started right on track, and it was really exciting to be able to see that work happening in an otherwise kind of a quieter time in the school. So thank you for being able to make that happen, to make sure it stays out of the way of teachers and out of the way of students. And so thank you for the work on that. Had opportunities to meet with community members, and I just always appreciate the feedback, the openness. And so I'm really happy to be able to be available for people and answer any questions or just have someone to listen. So thank you to that. And I'm just really excited for summer, and not going to wind down myself. It's where all my other jobs pick up, but happy to put to rest. I get that teacher muscle to rest for a little bit. So.
I'm glad one of the jobs is with us.
One of the jobs, yes. I get to ramp up.
Thank you, Ms. Gaspy.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Gampy.
Thank you. Just echo Nelson's comments. It was wonderful to attend a number of the promotion and graduation ceremonies, get to see family and, moving on to the next grade level and friends, moving on and up, and all of those things, always really special to see, all of the accomplishments of our students. And all of the celebrating all of the teachers and administrators who helped get them there. So I only needed a couple of tissues. Thanks, Nelson, for grabbing me one from the dais at one point during one of the Da Vinci ceremonies. But but it was great to be part of that. And I'm so excited. You know, we've been watching the World Cup for the last week or so, and it reminds me that, you know, our sports programs are gonna our summer sports programs are going to be starting here soon within the district. I know there's still opportunities for folks to sign up for those. So I hope that families are taking advantage of the programs that we're offering on our wonderful new facilities during the summer, and including to provide training camps for our high school students and then the youth athletics and fun camps and all of the enrichment programs that are offered throughout the district so that kids are safe and having fun and being active this summer, even while schools aren't in session. So grateful to all of those who are working hard to make those programs happen for us, and looking forward to a good summer. Thank you.
I think I'll keep my comments brief because many of that which is said has been said, and also I said earlier in some of the presentations, happy summer, everybody. I also want to thank everybody on the board here for attending. And we did have good showing at all of the graduations, and I think that's important. For us to give the pomp and circumstance to the students to know why we're here. So thank you for that. Every one of us was at the middle school. I did enjoy all the graduations, all the ceremonies, attended a number of them. I think Dr. Silvers, you attended every single one. Kudos to you. And shout out to the Connect Middle School for the concert of the two gals who did a duet that was very sweet. So it's just super fun to see these. And again, thank you all for your participation. Blake, let me turn it to you for the district reports.
Sure. Okay, we just have two. So I'm gonna, so Maggie, you can jump in. Not even.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yep.
So go on that.
Perfect. I just want to really thank our teachers. I mean, as I said, with it's filling out another survey. And so thank you for that, because it really does provide us the evidence that drives our assurances and our goals forward and the actions that we take to support all of our students. So it's really an honor to lead in such an amazing group of teachers. Also, there's a special group of teachers, our guiding coalitions and our design team, who came together, on one of the first days of summer vacation to lead what's called our how-to meeting. And we really focused on our new achievement reports and creating rubrics that support each and every one of the standards on that. So this was a beautiful product. Everyone had a teammate, maybe not from their school site, to really collaborate with and build out these rubrics. So unlike when I went through this process as a teacher, our teachers have done such incredible work on supporting what all of these things mean, what the proficiency means, and the supports and designing assessments around it. And so bravo to all of them, and thank you for providing us the time to do that. And then lastly, thank you to Connecta, who's a community partner of ours, who let us host this very great event at their site. Sometimes it's good just to get out of our walls. And so there was a lot of growth and a lot of happening over there. And it was great just to see that beyond these walls happening. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just a quick update, with the opening of the sports complex, we've been trying to make every opportunity possible for our community to be able to use our fields. And so we do have an attendant available during the week, starting at noon. And we close every night at 9:30 during the weekdays. And so please feel free to join us, as long as our groups like AYSO and our Little League WAGs, our partners, if they haven't reserved or certain things going on, please come by and visit our sports complex.
Cool. Thank you very much.
There's one more.
I just have a quick update on the fact that, yes, school has wound down, but our ESY program, our extended school year program,
Winding up.
just started this week. We started on Monday, and that goes through July 17th. It's currently being held at Holly Glen, as well as our preschool and adult transition program. So we have 9 classes of students, over 80 students attending, including a few students from Da Vinci Connect that we have joined our program this summer. So Ms. Kelly Shoemaker is our principal this summer, and she's doing a great job leading the charge. So we have a lot of learning still happening at Holly Glen, and we're grateful for everyone who's jumped in.
Thank you very much.
I just wanted to also say that in July, I'm going to be attending the national convening of Local Progress, which is a national network of local elected officials who believe in advancing racial and economic justice. And so the space is really to do coalition building, share strategies, and data-driven solutions. And so I'm looking forward to joining some national fellow school board members, including some from across California. There are over 300 local progress members in California, not just school board members, but other local elected officials. So I'm really looking forward to going there, learning and seeing what we can. It's July 9th through 11th in Baltimore this year. So this will be my third or fourth year attending the conference and in various places, and it's just a really lovely opportunity to really learn from our partners in other parts of the country and what they're doing. And I also participated in a focus group that they are doing on some research around different governance issues for school boards. So looking forward to bringing back those learnings for our district.
Please share when you do. Thank you.
Okay, I'll kind of wrap up the comment section. Had an opportunity earlier this week to tour the baseball field, the high school baseball field for Da Vinci Wolves over at Del Air. You know, we'd had some issues obviously with it over time, and I think one of the things that I want to thank Vicente and AD for walking with me, you know, and have an opportunity to have some conversations about some of the exterior areas. So we did ask a contractor to come in and take a look at some of the fencing, some of the wall behind it, maybe turning some of the uneven grass areas into DG, take a look at the batting cages / pitching areas to see if we need to do some work on those as well. So it's kind of let's get a menu of to-dos to make it just a little bit more hospitable, I guess, in some ways. And then we'll start checking things off a list. But, you know, I do want to say the field itself is looking really nice, very playable. Some areas on the grass that we have to take a look at just to continue to reseed over, you know, what do they call it? Like overseed and hydrate. If you hydrate grass, I don't know, water, fix irrigation. So we're going to hydro seed. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, that's probably what I was getting at. So, you know, just kind of excited to keep that project going. I just think it's a really, really good thing for our kids, you know, to be able to see that, you know, our high school students to be able to go over there and use that field. So really excited about that. Also want to, you know, share, you know, the celebratory feeling that we had last week, 2 weeks ago, where we were able to attend the final promotions and graduations. Certainly, I did get to 8 in 2 days, which was, it's a great 2 days. That's the best 2 days of the year, really, when you get to go see the students promote or graduate. And it's funny because every ceremony has its own feel to it. And it's kind of cool being able to go through that process and watch the students as they move on to the next step. And just want to thank the team. There's a lot of work that goes into that. I know Wendy put a lot of work into the middle school graduation, which is the largest in our district. You know, obviously Vicente and Nancy, and for the Da Vinci graduations, which are large. And then the the elementary school and the principals and custodial staff and our maintenance team that put that together just to make that work. So I just want to thank all those teams for organizing that process. You know, and then when you see LCAP, obviously on the agenda, this is a strategic document for the district. You look at the budget, obviously another strategic document for the district. You look at the presentation that we saw today from Maggie and from Monique. And Noemi, you know, the presentation on the facilities. There's just so much good going on in the district as we close the year, so much positivity. And I just really think we're indebted to the teachers and the staff and those people that bring that to school every day. You know, the people that are working on our facilities, both internal and external. I'm just putting a lot of care into the stuff that we're doing. And you do see improvements in the data. You know, you're starting to see the things that we've set the foundation for. So I really want to cap this meeting and my comments with saying that really all the positive things that are going on in this district and by the teachers and staff. I'm just really, really happy about the progress that we're making. And thank you to the board.
Okay, for Dr. Phillips. All right, then we will move on to from the public comments on the agenda. Wendy, do we have any? I feel like I should ask you that just regularly. Do we have any comments, Wendy? All right. So we will move to our consent items, number 9. Does anyone wish to make a motion for 9.1, which covers 9.1 through 9.10 inclusive?
You have a motion.
Motion from Nelson,
Second.
second from Rebecca. Any questions or comments?
Yeah.
I do have just one comment on item 10.4. You don't need to bring it up. It is you're right. I don't have a comment on 9.4. We will let that go. It has been moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Moving to action item number 10.1, receive board policies for first reading. Dr. Silvers, do we read these literally?
No, you, I hope.
We read them.
No, I have read them, yeah.
No, we don't read them aloud. It was just, it's basically the first pass,
The first pass at these, it's not necessarily ed code that we have to do 2 readings. Sometimes with these major initiatives or major policies, we're going to want to bring them to you. These 2 here we had mentioned at the last meeting. So we had talked about, just the use of e-bikes is increasing quite a bit, as we see around. I'm sure you all, if you're driving, you see that e-bikes has been an issue. So we really we've been working with Hawthorne Police Department. We also have support from the El Segundo Police Department as we try to curb some of the, not really the use, but at least the misuse of these bikes. I mean, we're not going to tell people not to drive them. They're allowed, but we do have a nice system. I just want to thank Monique for her work on this, as well as redoing and sort of highlighting our electronic device policy to limit that and essentially ban them during the school days at school. I mean, that's just the bottom line, to include watches and all those other things. But I also want to highlight that what's not here and that you're going to see later is, sorry, Moni, I'm just taking it since I'm on a roll. What you don't see is screen time. That has been a big topic. As you all are aware, we did receive district staff, and I think board members as well, received something like 42 emails related to the need to take a look at our policy. A lot of this is stemming from LA Unified and what they did. We want to thank LA Unified for that. But I was kind of a joke, I was a little bit sarcastic. No, we do really want to, it is important to do it, and to take a look at the system, but I just want to say too, I think there's our teachers do a really good job with technology and not overusing it. I just also think that it's important just to take stock. So this will be a good opportunity for us to take stock and see what we may need to adjust over time. So that's the new policies on the horizon for the board.
Any comments or questions on 10.1? I did also want to mention, I appreciated the watch. I didn't think about that when I was reading this. I thought mobile devices, and I thought that's very smart. So they will be banned as well. Pending exceptions, which are logical and approved. Thank you. And it was an education to know that there are 3 classes of e-bikes. I did not know this. I wondered why we're only banning number 3 and not 1 and 2, but that is actually city, state, local code.
District.
So it's beyond our control. So
it's vehicle
but
code.
the classifications have to do with the amount of speed and the amount of pedaling you need. So the super fast ones are banned. How's that for a sophisticated answer? Right. All right.
Got it.
All right. So all in favor of 10.1?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nope. Motion carries.
Motion. Right, no, you didn't call for a motion.
I didn't call for a motion. Jeez. You can tell I'm out of practice of this, guys. I apologize. Wow. Can I have a motion for 10.1?
I move that we
Thank you, Rebecca. And Michelle. Now, that's why you guys were looking at me like I'd lost my mind. All right. Now can we have a vote? All in favor? Aye. There we go. Any opposed? It still carries 4-0. Okay, good deal. All right, moving
to come
to
back for a second reading, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it approves that this reading for the first reading.
We've received that.
Yeah, you've received it. 11.1, action items for facilities. Motion 11-1 to adopt the resolution 25/26.50, reappointing the Measure EE Citizens Bond Oversight Committee members.
I was actually going to ask if Noemi, if you could you just come up just to provide a quick comment? I know Dr. Go, we didn't get it on in time for the actual agenda posting, but there was a question as to, well, in the future, the hope is that we put the names of people that are,
Let's know who they are.
yeah.
Absolutely.
But,
I mean, the board appointed them back in May 11th, 2023.
Mhm.
And the same members are still continuing. We did have a change along the way, Kathy Gore, but the board appointed her as well. But absolutely, going forward, I'll make sure I include the names.
And who are or is there or is there a single chair of that committee?
There is a chair and a vice chair, and as a matter of at the last Citizens Bond Oversight Committee, they elected new officers. Our new officers are, and I knew you were gonna ask, Ann Tittle is our chair.
Great.
Jen Houston will continue as vice chair. She was our former vice chair, and she'll continue. And Paul Jimenez, who was our chair, will now be secretary. And that will be effective as of our next meeting in September.
And can you give us word of those meetings so one of us could attend if we want to?
So as I mentioned, we'll have a Citizens Bond Oversight Committee tour August 3rd, and the next meeting is on September 6th or 9th. September 3rd.
Yeah, I think Wendy, you have those dates.
Yeah.
You're the one that sends out those
And they're on
invites,
the
right? Can you
website
just
as well.
include the board on that?
Update the Citizens
Yeah,
Bond
thank
Oversight Committee website, all of that information is there. It's the 3rd,
That'd be great to have. Thank you very much.
and they're at 6 p.m. here in the boardroom.
To update the officers on the website.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will.
Are you meeting here on the 3rd for the site tour, or?
We meet here. Generally, we work with Da Vinci. They loan us their vans, and we go on a ride.
Yeah, Vicente drives us around.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Can I have a motion here?
Yeah, motion.
Second?
Back up. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. 11.2, approve fiscal year 26-27 software services renewal with Colby Technologies for the Measure EE Bond program. This allows us to bid and et cetera technologically.
Yeah, motion.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Again, motion carries 4-0. Moving to fiscal item 12, asking, adopt the 2026-27 Local Control Accountability Plan, LCAP. I don't know if Maggie, you're going to give us additional thoughts here.
No, I just provided during the local indicators update. We didn't have any comments from the public regarding the LCAP.
We have a motion, please.
If nobody has an objection, like the motion 12-1 through 12-6, on fiscal items.
I hear no objections. Second,
Second?
thank you, Nelson and Rebecca, respectively. Any comments or questions on these? I did an observation on 12.3. It was somewhat unspecific as to capturing kids' hearts, what we were spending. So I asked Dr. Silvers. He informed me it is both for those teachers who had not participated in the past and for sustaining that program with ongoing training. Anything just to add there?
I'm sorry, the contract wasn't attached. I have it here.
Okay.
To look at it, but it's a little bit more expensive this year than it was last year because we are having another initial training for any new certificated staff for this year and also that were hired last year and haven't been through the 2-day formal training. And so that was a big piece in the contract, and otherwise it will support our principals with their monthly meetings with a coach. That includes also campus visits with our coach and coaching meetings for me at the district level as well, in addition to access to survey items in their platform, the dashboard, and the curriculum.
Thank you very much. Glad to see this, Chrissy. No other comments? All in favor of 12.1 to 12.6? Aye. Any opposed? No, again, motion carries 4-0. I don't see any upcoming events, or do we?
No, I mean, we have, just in case you want to join us at the sports complex, it's open from noon to 9:30 at night. feel free to join us there.
And then our next regular board meeting is July 16th, same bat channel, same normal time. With that, can I have a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Nelson.
Second.
I don't know why I looked to you to second, Rebecca. There you go. All in favor? Adjourn. All in favor, adjourn?
Aye.
Any opposed? No, it is time for soccer. Thank you all, everybody. Have a good evening.